Much like a bass lesson. Emily was there for the first part, and then it was just me and Carsten for the second part. I probably wrote and erased this board 4 times, but the part that stuck on the whole time was the top, which is time and tone. That's largely, in my opinion, what the most important things on the bass are that kind of triggers all genres and styles and instrumentation is kind of a solid time and solid tone. But I always start with the 1 minute bass lesson. We expand it to 8 minutes. That's how to play bass if you've never played bass before, but it's also really good if you had played bass before. So the first half was the thing of like doing that, remember that? The stand-up bass, you make it stand up on its own. And then when it's balanced, then you come to it. And then the second part was the knuckle thing, which is an electric bass, you play it like this. An upright bass, you're playing with your knuckles to get a big tone. And yeah, then we did the 2-octave scale. You want to give...
Come on! It's not that I can't play the notes, it's my intonation is just absolutely awful.
Even I can do 2-octave on my guitar.
Carsten! 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 Carsten!
Do it!
And then see, the problem is like right here, the technique is totally weird relative to upright bass because you have to go like, relative to upright bass, because instead of just sliding up, you have to shift to go like this, and then you can't let your fingers bend. See, it's really hard.
Yeah.
You're doing it though, man.
See, and then you can't get good tone out of there once you're done.
But that's super hard.
Yeah.
That's like super high for a bass.
Yeah.
That's
So
like,
yeah, we just talked about the shifting area and how to maintain like a solid core while you're shifting, and how the bass is a really big instrument, so the more you have your back working, the more you're solid in your core, the more you get good tone. And so we played 2-octave scales for a while, and that was pretty good, and I worked on my 2-octave scale. And then
we talked about walking bass lines.
yeah, bass line construction. So you want to trade basses now?
Yes, that's nice.
Which one do you want to do first?
I don't really care.
Okay, let's do the Root 5 2 feel. So this is a 2 feel. Yeah? Oh yeah. Yeah. This is a 2 feel because there are 2 notes per bar, as opposed to a 4 feel where there's 4 notes per bar. So the advantage of working with just roots and 5s is you basically eliminate all the note options except for those 2 notes per chord, and then
It's harder than it sounds.
yeah.
What just...
It's there we go, double.
Nice.
Yeah,
That was
so
really what you're waiting for.
This is actually what you
Yeah, Robin's gonna come in the room.
so we limited the note choice and then did a longer phrase and started working on developing more contour over a longer line. Which, if those of you who can see my graph in the middle part, that's what that's graphing. Is a nice beginning section followed by a high point and a low point, and then it ends and repeats in the beginning.
That's contour.
So maybe we'll do.
I'm not so sure how well the high part's going to turn out, because I like when I usually start playing higher when I'm doing walking line, I use a lot of passing tones and stuff because then I don't have to think as much.
Yeah. I'll just do whatever. If you want to stray, you can play some extra notes.
All right.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3s and 5s in there, but you want to show them the 11-minute exercise.
Showing the 1-minute exercise. I just should go to the 1-minute exercise.
So here we can see on the top, also under time and tone, is the 11-minute exercise for 11 minutes a day, developing great time and tone. You start at quarter note equals 60, and if you want to also develop time and tone and speed, then you do it every day, and every day you raise your tempo by 1 click. So after a month, you can be doing it at 90. And the good thing about this exercise is that it takes only 11 minutes a day. And,
Did you make this up?
Yeah.
No. This
Because you would be a rich man if you did.
Yeah. I don't think the person who did it was rich.
Or something.
So the first 3 minutes, you where's that metronome?
It's right there.
Okay, so you want to chuck it on 60? Should we be able to turn it on? So we're going to do this condensed version. So the first 3 minutes, you do this.
Nice.
For 3 minutes.
For 3 minutes. And maybe cross some strings in a bit. Yeah. And then for the next minute, you turn the well, you can leave the metronome on maybe. When I'm alone, I leave it on. Then you just rest. That's important.
With the metronome on and doing nothing else.
Yeah. From personal experience, it's important not to noodle on the bass or check your internet during this minute because you actually need it for rest. So then you rest for a minute, and then for the next 3 minutes, and then you do the 8th note, so you do 2 notes for every click. So it's...
I'm
gonna buy this exercise to environment.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was
And so this is good because every note is exactly the same, and it's also still we're working on time and tone. And then it's followed by 1 minute of rest.
And then triplets.
No, so
Then
no
the
coffee
triplets.
is just waiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the staccato notes, if you shorten the notes, then it's always easier to make them longer, and when they're shorter, then it gives you the flexibility to play them long or short, which is very good as well.
So all you do
That's
is...
excellent.
And then
That's great, Pete.
at the end,
I wouldn't have thought of that.
at the end, I think I was rambling for a while and writing stuff down
It
also.
all made sense.
And,
That's when you got into trigonometry, right?
Yeah, this is
Triangulation.
that's
It is kind of the music equivalent of
Yeah.
trig.
Ridiculous.
yeah.
Well,
That's
triads.
We talked about triads and 2 fields and 4 fields. Does everyone get the difference between a 2 field and a 4 field? That's a really good thing for everyone to know.
Why don't you show us?
Yeah, you want to give a quick demonstration, do a 2 field for a few bars and then do a 4 field? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Switch to the 4 after this time. It's actually really useful for non-bassists to be able to articulate the difference between a 2 field and a 4 field because a lot of lines are based on one of those two. So it's like, it's a good thing to be able to be like, oh, a 2 field. And you're like, oh, I get it. That's good for everyone.
That's excellent.
And then at the end, you told me like to slap on the higher strings more.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I taught him that in the last 2 minutes.
Can you teach me that too?
Sure.
Wow. So you mean he's not naturally gifted? You just
Oh.